In April 1981, inside Cabin 28 in Keddie, California, 3 people were brutally murdered and a 12-year-old girl vanished. What happened inside that small cabin remains one of America's most disturbing unsolved crimes. The Sharp family had recently moved to Keddie. Sue Sharp, a single mother, lived in Cabin 28 with her children, John, Sheila, Tina, Rick, and Greg. It was a rundown mountain resort where fights, poverty, and suspicious neighbors were common. The crime scene made no sense. There was no forced entry. The phone cord was cut. The windows were covered. The killers took one of the weapons with them. Neighbors later reported hearing muffled screams that night but assumed it was normal for Keddie and ignored it. The investigation quickly fell apart. Fingerprints were lost. Blood samples went missing, and a vital 911 recording related to the case was never logged, and later misplaced. 2 men immediately stood out as suspects: Marty Smart and his friend Bo Bubede. They lived just steps from the Sharps. Marty abused his wife Marilyn, and Sue had been encouraging Marilyn to leave him. That gave Marty a motive. According to Marilyn, Marty later confessed, saying, "I killed Sue." Police dismissed her statement. Bo, who supposedly had ties to organized crime and may have been an FBI informant, was never properly questioned. Despite being prime suspects, they both walked away untouched. Years later, investigators discovered a letter Marty wrote to Marilyn in 1981. It said, "I've paid the price for what I've done." Then, in 1984, an anonymous caller reported finding a human skull in a remote area over 100 miles away. The remains were confirmed to be Tina's. The anonymous 911 call was never logged properly and sat, forgotten in evidence for over a decade. Her cause of death could not be determined. 40 years later, the Keddie Cabin murders remain unsolved. 3 people were murdered, a child was taken, and the truth still lies somewhere between police failure, a possible cover-up, and secrets buried in a small mountain town. Cabin 28 was demolished in 2004, but whatever happened inside it continues to haunt investigators to this day.
Triple slaying in Keddie.
There's only one road into Keddie and one road out.
A mother, son, and son's best friend found bludgeoned with a hammer, stabbed. A young girl kidnapped. Her remains later found. All this happened while 3 children were unharmed in a spare bedroom. Horror happened in Cabin 28.
This thing was planned to a certain degree.
And 40 years later, it's unsolved, but one that could have been cracked.
It was a solvable case.
Detective Mike Gamberg and former Plumas County Sheriff Greg Hagwood say crucial mistakes were made 40 years ago by investigators and the Department of Justice.
I found too many things to be amiss.
Evidence wasn't logged, the crime scene was tampered with, and follow-ups never happened.
It's like a shotgun going off. Each one of those pellets was a lead.
Detective Gamberg helped reopen the case in 2013. This case is personal to him. He knew each victim: Glenna Sharp, John Sharp, Tina Sharp, and Dana Wingate. He was a martial arts instructor and taught the boys from time to time.
The day before the homicide, Dana was at my house. And kind of made the case personal.
And for former Sheriff Hagwood, it's also personal.
When the murders occurred, I was 15, knowing the boys. Little Tina was in my mother's class. Yeah, it got real personal real fast.
Since the Keddie murders took place April 11th, 1981, the Keddie resort here completely changed. The cabin where this murder happened no longer stands. It was condemned and demolished, but all the evidence inside is stored at the Plumas County Sheriff's Office. And they found even more evidence years later. Right here in this pond, just down the road from where Cabin 28 once stood, they found a murder weapon, this hammer, inside the pond. Surely, this was a break in the case.
It's my belief that after the homicide that they were trying to get rid of the evidence. As they passed by the pond, they tossed it in.
The hammer was so rusted, no DNA could be pulled from it. But it matched the exact hammer that was reported missing from one of the suspects, Martin Smart. Investigators believe Smart and his friend John Bobaday are the main suspects. They are no longer alive.
They literally fled the area within a day or so of the crimes.
Wow.
And we spoke to the person that drove him out of town. He's still alive.
Besides the hammer, Gamberg has damning evidence. A letter written by Martin Smart to his then wife, Marilyn. "I've paid the price of your love, and now I've bought it with 4 people's lives." Gamberg believes a possible motive is a love triangle. Was Glenna Sharp having an affair with Martin Smart?
It was kind of a lover's triangle type of thing that possibly, I mean, there were so many different avenues to go with.
And what happened to Glenna's daughter, Tina, is central to this case. She was initially reported as kidnapped. Her remains were found by someone in the woods in rural Butte County 3 years after the murders. But why was she taken away from the cabin?
I think there was something about Tina that could not be left there.
It's possible Tina was raped, pregnant, or she knew something she wasn't supposed to know. Then this happened. A 911 call made to the Butte County Sheriff's Office.
Well, I was watching the news, and they were talking about this skull they found at the foot of falls, the absolute event. And I was just wondering if you thought of the murder up in Keddie, up in Plumas County a couple years ago, where a 12-year-old girl was never found.
The 911 tape was found at the bottom of the box of evidence. Gamberg says it wasn't initially investigated, but he tells me whoever made this call knew something specific about what happened at Keddie. Is there someone else out there that is possibly alive that is responsible for this?
I believe there's 2 individuals that are still alive that were
Probably accessories after the fact.
Yeah.
Gamberg and Hagwood say they're closer now to solving this case than ever before.